Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Hey pals, welcome to the second episode of La La Land. Of the Music Pals covering La La Land. I don't want to be confusing there. Thanks a lot for joining us along. I know this is maybe a little bit of an awkward transition, but really think it's going to be a good change, and it's going to bring everyone a lot of really great content. So here it is, the second half of the La La Land episode, and again, this will be the format going forward, so that you can all get more content from us. I'd like to think better content, because it gives us the ability to really edit these smaller episodes and put together something that I think is a much stronger episode. So hopefully you enjoyed that first episode. Really no need to go back. You probably should, but you don't need to go back. If you've seen La La Land, you'll probably know right where we are. Speaking of where we last left off, Mia and Sebastian had just fallen in love, and they did their sort of space dance. They became spacemen in space. And so now we're moving into sort of the throes of their relationship, and then the rest of the musical. So again, thanks so much. And time to start the show.
And now, for your feature presentation, it's the synopsis.
Part 2. So now they're in love, and happy ending. The horn honk arrival where he just lays on the horn, like, I get it, it's like their thing, but like, come on, man, have a little chivalry.
I know, it's like a little rude, but I like if she's into it, so
That's
I like
true.
it.
Yeah, she's just like, she's
cute.
like,
this is so cute.
Yeah.
So I'm into it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because then she's wearing like more muted tones, like it's like a white like dress with like floral pattern on it now,
and what is that?
Instead of her bright, she's just like in love and feeling good about writing her show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
growing up and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Feeling more comfortable with like herself. Probably.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't imply that like the passion is dying, but maybe it is.
No.
Like, maybe it.
No, I.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's the passion's dying. It's. I think it's more of like she doesn't feel the need to like be this fake Hollywood like performative thing. Like all the primary colors and the bright colors is like the fake glamour of Hollywood in this movie, and then the neutral tones are like more real and like in yourself and in your passion and in your individuality and like speaking your voice instead of like this
coming
fake
into your own
Hollywood performative thing
that makes sense,
that you feel like you need to do to fit in, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I dig that. That makes sense. That's cool. And then it's summertime, and we get introduced to John Legend, and I got so excited because I didn't know he was in the movie, and I love him so much.
Oh, he's so good.
He's incredible.
Little actor.
Yeah, I didn't know he could act as well as he did, but he did. I mean, it wasn't
great.
a hard role, but he did a good job with it.
He was also because this was his first acting, I think the shot before he was in Master of None season
Yeah, he
2.
was. I was just going to say, I didn't know if you were going to reference that, but he was. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
And he's great in that as well.
Yeah. But he basically just plays a song in it, and it's amazing. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah. These aren't like complicated
right.
acting
Yeah,
roles,
that's
but he's doing a good job, and we like him.
He is,
so
and he's great. So.
yeah,
I got really confused initially about like how. Well, I don't want to skip ahead, but I guess really quickly, I just got so confused by why Sebastian was so against touring with a famous band, like making money doing things he loves. But then he played that electric bullshit. I was like, oh, because he thinks this is garbage time music.
Because the song, it's like, that's what I think is so interesting, because I think this song, like, I mean, this movie like does a really good job of like of saying like, this isn't like my passion, but if it's yours, like, good, and go do it. Because like John Legend's character is introduced in a gold outfit, but that's just because he's talking about business and deal, and there's no like artistry. But when they perform in the band, like, he's wearing red, his guitar is red, like
I noticed
he's like in the zone, and this is like something that he really believes in and really loves. And so I love that this movie is saying like this like John Legend's character can have his passion, and it's awesome, and it's not wrong. It's just not what you want to do. So go do what you want to do too.
Yeah.
Like there's room for both.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. Yeah, and I think that makes sense, and that to me argues that the people, the boyfriend and his brother, then weren't that. You know, because showing a different passion and showing like it's not the two heroes' passions, but it is a passion, and he's doing his thing, which that's cool. That's a cool choice.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I did want to not miss that where Sebastian, just that confidence, like he's such a confident character when he after Mia does her show for him, and he's just like, so we know two things. It's going to be called Chicken on a Stick, and your show's going to be a hit, or you're going to be famous, or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's so lovely.
I just love how like it's so important to have that person in your life to encourage you to achieve your passions. Yeah, it's amazing, and someone so like unreluctantly doing it. You know, like not doing it because it's like, I mean, you could do it. Like just saying like you're gonna do this. Like this is your thing. It's just so. Yeah. It's amazing. It's really it's beautiful.
Definitely. I think like, and so another red thing after in that scene after she performs it, like she is like completely bathed in red light right after she performs her one-woman show.
Because
they're sitting on the bed talking about it. There's a ton of red in that scene.
They like fake put a t-shirt or a sweatshirt over the lamp.
Yeah, over the lamp, quote unquote. So cool. Yeah, exactly. Man. To like make it red.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, this relationship like totally changed her life. Like she wouldn't have done any of this without his support.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Such a cool, I mean, just such a cool relationship, and that's why it's just so heartbreaking, but we won't get there yet. And then we get into Start a Fire, which that's the electronic song, right? That's
what I'm talking about when John Legend is like in red.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the red guitar and stuff. And so he's doing his thing and it's awesome, but Sebastian is not feeling it.
That piano that he plays that's made of like dildo material is the worst. I've played one of those before, and it's like I was like, what the fuck is this? I feel like I'm just touching just skin, like somebody's skin with weird bones behind. Oh, it's the worst. I hate those things, and he hates them too, and that's great.
Yeah, they like found the worst thing that they could possibly find that's like the opposite of what he wants to do. They nailed it. And then putting him in that, like, I think they could have one more step and they would have gone like overboard, but putting him in that Justin Bieber white hat, I was like, oh man, this is it. This is the climax. Like you can't take this character any further or else and those dancers.
Yes.
The dancers like dancing right in front of him too. Yeah. It's like completely blocking him.
I loved how they did that scene too, because I couldn't yet tell. Like I thought that I was picking up on the fact that like Sebastian was like, I'm kind of into this, but you couldn't quite tell if he was like, I'm smiling because this is goofy, or I'm smiling because I kind of like this. You know, I couldn't tell, and I like that that's how they played that scene.
Yeah. Well, I think like when Mia's on the phone with her mom and is like talking about him and is like, no, he's gonna start a club.
Oh yeah,
and then the mom's like asking about him and she's like, no, he's nobody.
Yeah,
he's not anybody yet, and you can see that like really register on it
for sure.
It's a brilliant acting. You can like see like that really hit him hard, and so like pushed him to do this thing.
That was his
that maybe he wouldn't have done if he hadn't met her too.
Right. That was his I need, I want moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn things from you, Katie.
It's kind of that.
But no, yeah, I totally
had
agree.
It before
he
with Jazz.
like definitely would not have done that. Which is kind of cool though. Like she also, I don't mean to diminish Emma Stone's character in here, because she's like a very strong character as well. And I think it's a super cool moment because, all right, so she talking to her mom about that made him realize that he needs to like maybe or she wants him to make a little more money, or that's what he thought. Had she not done that, though, he never would have made money to quit doing the things that he loves. I'm sorry, the thing that he hates, and then buy the bar to do the thing that he loves. So it's like, even without her knowing it, she sort of saved his passion as well. And then later she does kind of know that she saved his passion. But that's such a cool. It's a very complex sort of relationship in a really nice way.
And in such a real way too. Yeah,
for sure.
In like a serendipitous like movie way, but also like it's really grounded in reality. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. It's authentic. Oh my God, when Ryan Gosling has to bite his lower lip because that freaking elf.
Okay, that scene's really interesting too, because when he's missing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, I was just gonna say the photographer that is just a literal elf.
Yeah,
not
so
from this planet.
Embarrassing too. He's like, "What did you?"
Lovely. Now bite
my lip.
Bite like this. Yes, perfect. Ugh. But yeah, he's missing her thing.
But he misses her show.
What like most of the movie is about.
Yeah, but so the my color theory is supported because before she goes on stage, it's entirely red. Like it is entirely red light, and then when she bows, it's like really muted tones, and it's like so far away from like the bright primary colors. And then Ryan Gosling at his photo shoot is like surrounded by gold. He is like surrounded by these bright colors and lights and everything. And then when he looks, the photographer's like, play a song, and he starts playing their theme.
Oh yeah.
And then the keys on the piano are red.
Oh yeah. God.
And like that's a deliberate ass choice, because they could have just gotten a regular keyboard with white keys.
Oh yeah.
But they got red keys on the keyboard.
Man, like this is one of those classic moments where it's like, now that you're saying, I'm like, how did I not notice that? You know, but of course you don't notice it. It's your first watch. So.
I did a lot of research on this.
That's super cool. And like, he's finally
isn't it great?
revisiting
and
his
so
passion.
and then he's like, ooh, this is reminding me that like I need to be there for her. Like this is not what I want to be doing. This is not who I am. This is not the kind of music I want to play. And so then he like leaves and tries to find her, but
yeah. And then oh wait, we did miss their first fight.
A big chunk.
Yeah, their first fight.
Yeah. The green.
Yeah,
the green in their apartment is really beautiful.
That scene, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry for the listeners for skipping around. There's just so much to talk about, but that scene, I was so enthralled. Like, God, they killed that fight.
Yeah, that was so good.
God, it's like it's so nice to see acting
performances
there.
Yeah,
it's so nice to see like genuinely great acting, and maybe there were some blunders throughout the movie from my perspective, but like that scene was just like, whoa, spectacular. But yeah, it was green. What was the green? I guess envy. Like it was
the green. The designer was talking about how he wanted like really muted tones for his apartment, and then at night. We only see his house at night when he's met Mia, and so like, and when he like joins this band, and so like the really bright colors have like started to enter his life, like the fake, famous world, and so the green he was like, there's like a shitty like neon sign outside of his house or something. That's how he justified it, but the color choices still represent like the fake glitz and glam is like entering his world.
Yeah, gotcha. I just wonder, it was a very sort of like subtly upsetting color too. So I wonder if that played into like the audience's emotions, because it was like very like an edgy color, you know, it was like made you kind of feel on edge a little bit.
Yeah, it just felt like something like bad was gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like it just feels like in a gangster movie when you're like, oh, someone's gonna get shot.
Right. They could have hit you over.
I don't know
what
it is, but something's off, and like it feels off, and something scary is gonna happen next.
Yeah, they could have hit you over the head with it with like a violin trill. They didn't need to. So
it's like, oh.
We did also
I'm on edge.
We did also miss a very sort of like endearing and enjoyable moment.
When they're playing the piano, right?
Yeah, when they play City of Stars.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that song a little bit more because...
let's do it.
Just really, really quickly. I think it's such a brilliant song. Because just the simple lyrics, City of Stars, are you shining just for me? LA doesn't have stars. Like, as a city... There are no stars. It's a really bright city, so you don't see a ton of stars. You can even go up to Griffith Observatory. You see a few, but you don't see a lot. So it's just such a cool, to be the theme song, or to be like the sort of title song of the show, it builds a little bit of the irony of it. About the stars, clearly now, in this case now, because there are no stars in LA, like they mean famous people, like the stars of Hollywood. I think they could have multiple meanings, but I think to me the main thing is that, and to ask the question of why are you a star, like, and that's the main question of the whole show. Like, are you shining for you, or are you shining for me, right? Like, are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for me? And I think, like, what a cool, subtle, I don't want to say a dig, but just like an amazingly subtle way that if you just take it at face value, okay, he's singing about the stars, cool, but there aren't stars in LA, so there's something else going on here, and it's such a beautiful song. It's like somber and simple, and with some really, I think, kind of deep lyrics that I really love. I really like. This is one of my favorite songs in general.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think it's so beautiful. And I think that support, like, people were talking, a lot of the negative stuff about this movie is just like, oh, it's just Hollywood loving itself, but I think
it is, and it needs to be,
like,
to me.
But it's also not, because it's also like depicting Hollywood in this like shitty way. Like, yeah, that's true. It's showing that auditors are shitty, and like going to auditions is shitty, and like sometimes famous people are shitty, and these Hollywood parties are shitty. Like, LA as a city is great and magic, and like sometimes you find people that are like truly passionate about it and pure, like these two, and it's great and it's magic when they find each other and when they get success, and there are great people out there. But like you know, asking why someone's famous, like that's not Hollywood just congratulating itself. That's a movie that's like pointing out like you can find beautiful things like within a shitty thing. Yeah,
and I think it's about almost like it could also kind of be I don't want to call it a call to action, but an admonishment of people who are in the business just to be in the business and not in the business because of passion, right? And
exactly,
you know, this is a very much you can tell this movie is a passion project of the director, of the creator of it. So I think that's it's him saying, and probably many of the other people who are involved with it, sort of saying like, we did this because we're passionate about it. Like, yeah, okay, we made a shit ton of money, but we did this because we're passionate about it. Like, can you say the same about yourself? And so I think I agree. It's cool. It's just a really cool way to split Hollywood down the middle of people who are doing it for the wrong reasons and people who are doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, great song. Yeah. And that was great like 45 minutes ago in the movie, but oh well.
Oops.
We sort of skipped.
Sorry, guys.
Oh well. We're passionate about the movie.
There's just a lot that's like tied all in together, so we have to jump around.
Yeah, for sure. And then he plays at his sister's engagement party, right? Is that where we kind of are? She goes home. Sorry, I missed that. She decides to go home. He plays at his sister's engagement party. They're sort of separately brooding over one another.
Yes.
So,
and then he gets the call.
Yeah, exciting.
And he's such a good boy because he goes and gets her.
And I love that they tied up that loose end, because I was like, she never told him what her address is. There's no justification to say she told him her address, and then he goes across the street from the library, and I'm like, damn it, it's also adorable.
Damn it.
You justified it, and fuck you, Ryan Gosling.
He listened because he's perfect.
It did make me feel like a shithead as a man for not supporting Liv in all of her passions so passionately.
Ryan Gosling does play like amazing roles.
Yeah, he does.
for women. Like, he is just such a dreamboat in every movie he does. I haven't watched Blade Runner yet, so don't.
Well, if you've not seen the first one, don't do it.
I haven't seen the first one or the second
you
one.
You very
so
much need to
know.
see the first one to watch it.
I do. I know.
Very much. No, like, you don't need to see the first one, but if you want to see the second one, you need to see the first one.
Well, I want to see both.
Yeah, they're
Alex
good. They're
is
good
like
movies.
Creaming over it. So.
So then we take it to the audition. This is sort of like it's sad, but like this is their last moment, kind of together, right? Like in love with one another. Well, not last moment in love, but last moment together while in love.
Yeah.
She sings the song of her aunt.
Yeah, it's so great. The chorus is so beautiful in this song. I think it's so touching.
Yeah. I wrote, "I'm eating out of your goddamn palms, you writers."
I know.
God, like, bring out the artists.
Makes me cry
and dreamers.
every time. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this is where
it's like wow.
This, I think like throughout the movie I was like, I like this, and this is really the moment where I was like, fuck. This is so good.
I guess I have to cry now.
Yep.
You did.
I didn't get there yet. That's not where I scored some.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I forgot to mention that I was going to watch this movie in 2 parts just because, busy life. I often watch the movies in 2 parts. And I forgot to say, at start of fire, I had to pee super bad, and I literally didn't want to turn off the movie. I sat there. I was going to go to, not only was I going to pee, I was going to go to bed. And I was like, nope, I'm in it for the long haul. I got to see what happens. So that's pretty good. I filled my bladder for this movie. Pretty full.
Just like watch it on your laptop and like take it into the bathroom.
It's too much work. I also had Bert, my cat, laying on me. So
Bert.
Yeah. But then she nails the audition. Such a cool thing.
Okay.
Like the dream. Oh, sorry, you're gonna say something. Go ahead.
I feel like I had a very profound point to make about this, but I don't remember it.
I mean, maybe it has, like, in that last scene, she's very plain in a nice way. Like, she's not done up in any way, shape, or form. I think that's...
Oh, yeah, just the camera work is really nice of, like, stuff flying in and out, and, like, again, like, her belt, like, she finds her voice, and...
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I had something else to say, but it doesn't matter. It's really great. It's perfect.
It's cool, and
Emma Stone is amazing.
She does it, and this is where her voice is like. I'm so glad it's not a like trained singer.
It's just so real.
Yeah, and it's nice. She's like it's not in any way.
Feelings.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in any way like it's like not upsetting. It's just it's a nice voice. It's not a great voice, but it's perfect for this.
Yeah, this is that's like what I prefer.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a technically perfectly trained, like perfect voice, but without that emotion. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's boring. It's just as
I would rather listen to this every time.
It's just as bad as those douchers in the restaurant.
And she, she sounds good.
Yeah,
it's no problem. Yeah.
So then it's 5 years later. She gets the dream freaking role. Like I was so nerding out about this role. Like, oh my God, what story would I tell? And they would write a movie about based around
a picture about
me. And she's a famous actor. I love this. This is like this choice to make her have achieved her dream, quote unquote, but make it not great for her. I love that. Like that was so.
What do you mean not great?
Yeah.
For
so
her?
like. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, or I am getting a little bit ahead of myself, but she's famous. She's rich and famous. Her name's on all the big billboards, but you can tell she's not as sort of overjoyed or, like, I don't want to use the word too much, but passionate as she was throughout the rest of the movie. She's very sort of sterile, kind of flat, and she's sort of living a life that isn't exciting. She kind of lives in like a really lavish house, but it's not one that has any character to it by any means. So she's kind of achieved everything that she wanted to achieve, but there's still sort of something missing, and I think it's kind of going back to like she maybe lost some of that passion because she hit the big time to me, and I think that was just such a cool, such an interesting and cool choice that she hit it big, like no questions asked. She's huge, and it's not perfect.
I think that's interesting. I kind of get that feeling, but I also kind of feel like the colors tell a different story, and that she's just like happy.
Well, but what's the black? Like she's wearing a black dress. Like what's that? I mean,
no, she's wearing white. Well, when she greets her family, she's wearing a white dress, and then I guess that black dress at the end.
Yeah,
that's interesting. But I just feel like it goes to like she has like hit the two neutralist tones, and she's like in herself now, and she has her dreams, and she has the family, and she like has.
But what do you mean? Like, okay, so then what? Now she can die? You know, like I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think the writers were trying for a little more than that. Like, okay, what happens next? Like, you've hit the big time. What happens next? And I think, to me, what happens next is get back to what you're passionate about. Like, okay, you hit it, but don't just like coast on this. Like, you know, like there's no such thing as a perfect life. You're always in the pursuit of perfection and happiness, and once you get one place, you just want to go to the next. And so, I don't know. The whole thing for me was just it's the journey, not the destination.
That's like totally fair. I think it's totally valid, but I take it more as like it's like a movie musical. So like she got it, she did it. They don't end up together, but that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is both of them getting their dreams, and they got them. Yeah,
I don't know. They got them, but I feel like, and I think there's also that missing factor that they should.
I just feel
together.
like there's something to be said for like not all of life needs to be like all that drama, and all of that like high, low, intense like emotion. Like maybe if she found like the equal like I don't know, if she like got to a more stable, secure place, like that's not necessarily a bad, boring thing. That's like a good life too. Now I don't know. I don't think like the turmoil is like and all the drama of the first half of the movie is like necessary for your whole life.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to we could talk about it for a while, but it could go.
And I think it's okay to have different interpretations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As well.
I just loved that this was so much about like it's about the journey, not the destination, right? Like you get there, and that's great, but like hopefully you think about how great it was getting here, even if it was difficult and challenging at times. Like that's sometimes the most fun part.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for like enjoying both.
Yeah.
Parts of like wherever your life was and where it's going and where it is. Like, I think,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think it's something to think about more for me.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Like we could argue it, but I think in the end, I just really wanted them to be together. Like it just was such a, and I don't say that. Like that's just, I don't get, and it's not like a dude thing. Like hopefully the listeners know that I do not prescribe or subscribe to traditional dude culture. But in this case, like I just don't, as a person, as a human being, don't really get emotionally invested in characters. And this was one of those rare occasions where I was like, God, you guys are just like, you guys are the passion projects of each other and the relationship, you're passionate about that, and you were building each other up, and it was beautiful, and keep going with that. Like I really like at the end when she looks back, I was like, I so badly knew it couldn't happen because it would ruin the whole movie, but I wanted him to like run up and kiss her, and then they're together forever, and I was like,
I know
that would ruin the whole movie, but I want that to happen.
I totally agree with you. And I think I agree, like, it defeats the purpose of the film. Like, it had to end that way. Like, it had to be that. But, like, I just wish everything could be tied up in a little nice bow, too.
They did at least throw us a bone, and they gave us that, like, montage that you referred to earlier, of, like, as if they'd been together. That's kind of where... I think that's kind of more towards my point, too. It's, like... You've hit the big time, and you've got this like kind of plain dude as your husband, and you've got this sort of lavish but maybe not exciting, arguably, life. And then they show, or you could have had this life with Sebastian that just seemed so much more fun. You know, it just seemed. Granted, we didn't see the other life.
But the thing of it is, it's like it's a dream and it's fake and it's an
right.
imagining of what could have
That's
happened.
true.
And it's probably like because it's in all the Technicolor and it's in the bright primary colors, like it's probably not what would have happened if it was real.
Yeah, you're right. It's
it's the Hollywood glitzy glamour
it.
imagining version of their life instead of.
That's true. Yeah, I can't argue with that at all. I mean, it's exactly like the whole movie, all in like 2 minutes, saying like the primary colors and the glitz and the glamour is representing a romanticized version of reality, and so I guess that does sort of do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I also think like the way that they have the kiss, like in the imagination sequence, in the dream sequence, they have like him kiss her right on the first night when they were in the restaurant. Right. Like, I think that's to symbolize like if they had been more emotionally open with each other, if they had like, I don't know, like maybe if they had done some things differently and like
yeah, it's like that if only
been more open and more honest with each other instead of like, I don't know, instead of him joining the band, like maybe if he talked to her, like things could have been different for them, but like it just didn't. Sometimes just the timing is wrong and things don't work out, and I think that's what makes it more sad is like sometimes you just fuck up and sometimes you just mess stuff up and there's no
going back
war to tear you apart, and there's no like, you know, there's no like external factor. It's just all about the way you two decided to handle the relationship.
Right. Yeah. And you know, it's that whole like, you know, it's hindsight is 20/20, and so you can think back through all the things that maybe would have worked out for you guys to be together, but they didn't happen, and you have no idea what could have happened. So go with your plain ass husband and live your damn life.
I know. I don't want her to have a bad life, but I just want her to have I like the glitz and glamour version of their dreams, right? Which is like, that whole dream sequence is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So gorgeous. And it's so like, I can't wait till we talk about Singing in the Rain, because it's like so Singing in the Rain.
I can wait. I'm just kidding.
No, I think you'll like Singing in the Rain. I think you'll think it's cute.
I sing it all the time when in the rain, but I have no idea what it's actually from. Or I just remember there's a guy like dancing around a light post. But anyway.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling does that in this movie too, which is cute.
Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that.
Not like a big thing, but he swings
like
on a
subtle
light
homages,
post. Yeah.
By the way, the it was only a single tear, but the single tear fell during that montage.
Yes, it like it's like it just like weaponizes reality so well. It just like hits you with like, oh, but none of that's real. Bye.
And all the feel bones. Like, yeah, and you know that the whole time is the thing that sucks. Like, you know, none of this is real, and so that's like all these people smiling and happy, and it's such a nice scene, and you're just like, I hate this. I'm so sad. Why am I sad when these people are happy?
With like their kid. Yeah, I know. It's so bad. It makes me cry.
Anyway, anything else about the movie? I think this has been my favorite one.
They just share a little smile at the end.
Yeah.
You know, knowing like
I hated that.
They helped each other.
I just wanted the movie
get to where they are. They both got their dreams, and now this chapter is done.
Yeah, I hated that because it was them like both acknowledging like, we can't be together, right? Yep. Damn. I was like, no, do something more.
Just kiss.
Exactly. But this has been my favorite musical that I've seen for sure.
That makes me happy.
I
feel like you say that every time.
No, not really. I didn't.
I feel like you're just starting to like musicals.
No. Nope. I disagree. I won't allow it. No. I mean, this one hit me in all the right places, right? Like, it's LA, it's a struggling actor, it's Ryan Gosling, who I'm a big fan of, and it was just really well shot and had a lot like of artistry behind it. So it was good. It was really, really good. And that should do it for the synopsis. All right. So let's head into the bits. How about that? Bits. Where do you want to start? Go for it. What do you think?
Let's do hashtags.
Okay, hashtag that. So for our new listeners who have maybe come over from our friends who are other fun arcade audio shows, hashtag that is where Katie and I both have come up with a hashtag that we have not told the other, and then the other person, and probably the person who came up with it anyway, has to come up with some tweets regarding that hashtag. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first, but I just when you were giving that intro realized that my hashtag already exists.
Oh well, who cares?
Awesome. So this is, have you followed that Overheard in LA Twitter?
Yeah, oh yeah. I followed the Instagram, but it's the same one.
Maybe it's just Instagram. I've just heard people talking about it. But
yeah,
I was gonna
amazing.
do shitty things you hear at LA parties, but Overheard in LA is the exact name.
Oh wow. Go for it.
Shorter. But with that guy at the party who was I'm just a world creator.
Hashtag I'm just a world creator. Please tell me that's what it is.
Well, I just let's make fun of LA people more.
I'm about to
Think
live
of
there.
Shitty things they'd say. Yeah, that's true. This is your career. I can't blacklist you like this.
I do. Is that what it is though? Hashtag I'm a world creator, a world builder, or did you?
Yeah.
I love that because that's amazing. He invited me back to his apartment, and then opened his door to his sex studio and said, hashtag, I'm just a world builder.
I'm just a very talented world creator.
Just a talented world builder, world creator.
Yikes. I think that's all we need for that hashtag.
He invited me back to his apartment, and it was filled with doll houses. And he said, hashtag, I'm just a world builder.
He loves dioramas.
One more. Let's see. What if Sneezy of the Seven Dwarfs just had a drug problem? Hashtag I'm just a world builder.
He just loved.
I love that.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. And he's sneezing
Perfect.
from it. That's great. I love that. I don't mean to have stolen that, but I think that was good. You wanted to make fun of LA people when we did with the World Builder, right?
I think it's perfect.
Do you have a tweet or was that it?
No, that's it.
All right. My tweet is, do you know, or my hashtag is, do you know how people say I'd be perfect for that role?
Yeah.
Well, and many of the roles, frankly, many of the auditions I have gone to, but so many of the ones that Mia did in the movie, like the cop, and I think there was a doctor or something.
Yeah.
So my hashtag is hashtag imperfect for that role. What would be roles that are this so outside of your real wheelhouse, it would be insane. For instance, Donald Trump, I think, would be good.
Well, come November 18th, you can see me
Can't wait.
play him.
All right, what you got?
That's the joke. Who would I be so wrong for? I feel like I'd be so wrong for any paramedic or cop or any Dick Wolf lawyer, Dick Wolf universe.
I thought
show.
I thought you were saying any wolf who is a dick, and I immediately went to Into the Woods.
Any wolf.
I literally went Into the
bad
Woods.
at
I was like, what?
I don't know if I would be cast as the wolf, but I think I could rock it if I were.
Fair enough.
I don't know if anyone would cast me in that. I feel like I would be a really bad, Tom Cruise,
Like an action star.
action star.
I'm so sorry for the listeners at home that you've never experienced it, but I'm thinking back to some of Katie's improv scenes where she does this thing where she just sort of sprawls out. Sort of lays on the ground entirely, and that's what I'm picturing her as. Just the new Mission Impossible female star hashtag.
It's just me
perfect.
going undercover as a rug. It's just
sort of lazily toppling over like a cat falling asleep.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
That's perfect.
done.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's great. I was gonna
That's
say
it.
things like
Do you have some, Daniel?
I was gonna say things like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, #imperfect for that role, or like any large character like
like Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, yeah, the Hulk. Although I'm like Edward Norton size, so I feel like that's okay. But like any superhero character is pretty much out of the question for me because I sort of just have the body of just like a flappy pear. So in no way, in no way superhero size. I'm also a very short person. Well, not very short, but I'm a little below average height, and so
a little below.
Yeah, that's
no problem.
Any superhero #imperfect for that role, unless it's like average man.
Average
looks
man.
like a job for average man.
I mean, you think, but then Paul Rudd did stuff, and he's pretty
that's true.
average man.
Well, yeah, he played Ant-Man, so I feel like that's perfect for average
could be
man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, it could be Ant-Man. Damn it, you got me.
Damn.
Oh, you nailed it with that Tom Cruise action role. That's perfect. Oh man. I hope the audience members.
I could do it, but I just feel like there's so many other things I'd rather put my effort into.
You're a true actor. You think you can play any role.
I could play any role.
Damn it.
Give me any role.
All right, so let's go Once You Pop. How about that?
Sure.
All right. So you go first. I went first. No, you went first.
I have to do the thing.
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. Once you pop, the show tune don't stop. We were so good. I'm not changing that at all. I'm leaving that in its entirety and in perpetuity. That was perfect.
Just reuse that sound clip.
Absolutely.
In
forever.
future episodes.
And I'm just going to put like a shitty horn behind it. And then a fart noise. That's what's going to end.
A fart noise.
A mouth fart noise, too. It won't even be real.
This
fart.
is our brand. This is that good content.
Welcome to the Music Pals. Fart noises. Ladies making moaning sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. Semi-trucks honking. All right. So okay. I'll just jump in. I didn't love mine, but I thought it would be really funny if instead of the audition, if Emma Stone just busted in. On me when I was young, we were all superstars, and then she just jumps into that.
I think it's perfect.
So there you go. That's the story she tells about her mom saying she's a superstar, but like she just jumps into like this crazy oversized pop star thing and in her like neutral clothes while she's trying to land a job.
Her like sweater. Yeah. I can't believe she went to an audition in just like a sweater.
That was great. She like showed like I'm done with this. Like I'm not interested.
She was like, "Fuck you! This is me.
Yep.
It me.
I'm
you
raw.
Girl, Mia."
Yep. But imagine that, but then singing that Lady Gaga song.
I think it's great.
And like without the music too, so she's just like just sort of talk singing this terrible song. It's not a terrible song, but you know what I mean.
It's not a terrible song.
All right, so what you got?
I'm telling Liv you said it was a terrible song.
She doesn't. I'm not a Lady Gaga fan. I appreciate what she's doing for culture, society, but her music is garbage time.
You're garbage time.
Anyway, what you got?
So, I feel like this is cheating, but I felt like because this wasn't like a Broadway musical, that I was allowed to choose a Broadway musical song.
Oh, once you pop the show tune, stop.
No, it don't stop because it's continuing.
Yeah, I guess there's actually more of an issue with the name of the segment than your use of it. But anyway, what you got?
So I said it earlier, but If I Loved You from Carousel.
Okay, that's nice.
To replace the Isn't It? I don't know what it's called, but the Lovely Night.
Lovely
song.
Night. I think it's called A Lovely Night.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. There you go. I don't know what that song is, but I'm sure I'll find out.
If I loved you, time and again I would try to say, oh,
saying the exact same thing. It's like, oh well.
So maybe that whole song is just an homage to that then.
How great if this would be so tight if we loved each other, but good thing we don't.
Those are the exact lyrics verbatim.
It's like, this would be so sick if we were in love.
It'd be radical,
musical.
dude. Radical, bro, if we were just in
totally
love. Like,
tubular, man.
God, I didn't know that's what Carousel was about. Yeah, the whole thing. The whole thing's about surf culture.
A surfing movie from the Disney Channel in the 90s.
I didn't know Fred Astaire loved Puka shell necklaces so much.
I mean,
I don't even know if he's in it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Till I try a puka shell necklace? Trust me, I have. I did live in the early 2000s and was a douchebag.
Oh. It was a douchebag.
All right, where you want to head next? You want to relate to, or you want to score it?
You pick. I picked.
All right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
I'd like to relate.
Let's do relate.
Yeah.
I have a guess about who we're each.
Me
relate
too. Want to say it at the same time? We'll say the character's name at the same time. Ready?
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Mia. Yes. Of course. Yep.
Of course.
But I win because I'm going to go to LA, so ha.
Well,
and plus, I want to be in the pictures. You want to be on the stage.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with my life.
Oh, you'll take either one? I didn't know that. I thought you were exclusive stage.
I might move to LA.
All right, sounds good. It'd be much easier to do this show.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. But anyway, for obvious reasons, she's.
But anyway, for obvious
actress.
reasons, she goes to a lot of shitty auditions.
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
Giving your heart out there, and they take a phone call.
Yeah. Yep.
Through no one's fault. It's a crappy system all around.
Yeah.
But, she's struggling. She's trying to find how to get her foot in the door. She's trying to find her voice. She's trying to find her passion. She's trying to find what the right thing to do is. She's trying to get discovered. She loves acting. You get it.
And I think
Beautiful singer,
she's genuinely
dancer,
got a passion about it, which I can relate to. Like, I'm not to toot my own horn here, but like, I have a good job, but like, I'm not passionate about it. I'm passionate about the acting thing. I think that's the same thing as her. Like, she just wouldn't take, and probably the same for you, even more so. But like, I'm not going to settle for a good job. I want something that I'm actually passionate about. So I can relate to that really, really well.
It's just not as important to me as doing what I want,
Yeah. I also don't mean to be a dick again. But I think that I have my Sebastian, right? I have someone in my life who's very supportive of that, which I think it's huge. It's so necessary. In Live, to be clear. Right?
I don't know how that's being a dick.
Well, just like talking about me, I don't know. But
okay.
Anyway, encouraging me to do things and not saying like, yeah, maybe try it out, but saying like, no, you're gonna do this and it's gonna be great, even when it's almost always not. So, yeah.
No, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
it's great.
So yeah, very relatable character for
my
us.
baby boy.
About your boy.
My boy. He's a good boy.
Gross. All right.
He's a good boy. I love him.
Gross.
I don't know why that's gross. He's wonderful.
All right. Tell me what you got. What do you think for music writing and pageantry?
I mean, 1 million out of 1 million stars.
For all of it.
For all of them. It is so good. So good. The music, superb. Just so gorgeous. The writing, amazing. Beautifully written script. The pageantry, can't beat it.
Yep. I agree.
You just can't beat it.
I think I agree. I think the only thing that won the pageantry for me is the space scene. That was cool. That was super cool. I loved it.
And the dream sequence at the end, though, amazing.
The music, I'm going to give a 4 4 trumpets out of 5, just because there's that one song in the beginning that I get it now and I'm on board now, but I still don't like it. So that's my take. I think let's take this moment, if you don't mind. I'd like to talk about the race issue here.
Yes, we need to.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So I'll just say my thing, and I'm curious your thoughts, of course. But I don't disagree with the sort of blatant slap in the face that this is a movie about jazz and starring 2 white people. I don't disagree with that. But the thing that I will say is they did it in a very sort of effective manner. It's not okay. Like, I still genuinely think this movie probably should have starred a black man or probably a black man or a black woman. It doesn't matter. I just feel like it deserves that. But they have a very diverse cast, incredibly diverse. We already talked about it in the opening. They have, when you go to the jazz club, most of them are people of color in various ethnicities. There's like a Hispanic person. There's some black people. I don't know, obviously, their background, African American or what they are, but right. So it's a very diverse. The star is white, and that's problematic. But I don't think it was as much of a slap in the face as people exclaim it as, because it's not like they were like, no, we're going to whitewash this movie. It was, we happened to get a white dude to be the star of it. And maybe we should have probably thought about a person of color. And I'm sure they did think about a person of color, but in having 2 white people be the lead roles and the heroes, I think that they represented a fairly sort of diverse cast. And so I can't, demonize them entirely for casting someone that they thought was best for the role when they clearly and deliberately cast the smaller roles as so diverse and so multicultural. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think just the problem is that, like, yeah, it's like people of color in the background, and then like it's still like
right
white people up front and center.
Totally.
I agree that it's like handled with a lot of care. I think it's mostly about like Hollywood. I think it's mostly about Hollywood. I don't know if it is a reflection on the people, like, I don't know if it's a reflection on the director or if it's a reflection on the studios and the system itself. That like it's so white.
Right. Maybe
feel like
arguably they were trying to make so many other points about Hollywood. Maybe, I don't want to stretch here because this is a sensitive subject, but maybe that was a point they're trying to make. Who knows?
I mean, I don't think so. I think it's just about like the name and face recognition that Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone had, and they're both very talented.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah. And it's a business at the end of the day, and that's who they think will make the most money.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I agree.
Like, which is like outdated and stuff, because I loved Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling in this, and I love this movie, and I love their performances, and I think their performances are amazing. But like, how exciting would this film be if it were like 2 like unknown like people of color like heading this film? Like,
yeah, but you can find, I agree to an extent there. You can find well-known people of color to have done that. Why not put John Legend in the lead role? I mean, obviously,
no.
train him up.
I mean, sure, famous people of color too. That would be very exciting. But just like for what this story is telling, it's like 2 people getting discovered. Like, this is unrelated from the race thing, so maybe we shouldn't talk about it right now. But I think it would be like such an exciting movie with unknown actors as well. But
right.
How, like, I don't know.
Maybe
there
if
are famous white jazz musicians from the time period too. Like,
totally. If I could maybe try to sort of cauterize the points we're trying to make, and let me know if this is not the point you're trying to make. Yes, one of the lead roles should have been a person of color, and probably in future iterations it should definitely be a person of color. But in this first iteration, the name recognition of Emma Watson and Ryan Gosling gave them a lot of power and a lot of flack. And that's not to say there aren't equally as famous people of color who could have gotten that name recognition. They just for some reason or another, were not booked. They should have been probably one of them should have been cast. I'm sure they could have found like I don't know, like a Gina Rodriguez or someone who could have done the role of Mia better or just the same as Emma Watson. It didn't happen. They cast the people they cast, and so they at least tried to do a little bit better of a job with a more diverse cast. I mean, would you agree with that? Like, it should have been, it wasn't, so they did with what they could. Or is that not the point?
Yeah, I think it's no, I agree. I think it's like the system that's created is like I can't think of bigger stars that are a more like a already established, like well-known chemistry, like a classic Hollywood couple type deal. I can't think of two people right now that are a better fit for that than Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, and that's because in Hollywood the preference is towards white actors.
Yeah, that's true. So it's more systemic.
And so it creates a system where it's like it makes sense to cast these two in these
together,
roles,
right?
Because of a system that has already supported like white people being
it's tough.
big movie stars, bigger than
totally. It's Tom Cruise, Meg Ryan, right, of today. Now had they, I think I'd be
or like Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, just like two people that you see in a movie and it's like we know they're gonna be a couple, right. We know they have chemistry, we know we would love to watch them be together. Yeah. That type of like classic thing.
Now I will say, had Emma Watson and what was the other guy?
Miles Teller.
Had they been cast, I think I'd be singing
casting.
a different tune,
that's
right?
So weird.
Because then I'd be like, that's just sort of blatantly casting smaller people when you could have cast people of color. So
yeah, that like would change the movie so much too. It would be a completely different film.
Yeah, for sure. But
and then there would be just I don't know if I'd like it because then I'd be like, you for sure should not have cast these two.
Right, absolutely.
But I haven't seen their performance and I like them both, so who knows?
Well, yeah, but they could have done a good job, but that still wouldn't have lent anything to the race issue. You know, like I think the only argument here for Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone is what you said. They have the chemistry because of a systemically racist industry, and they are huge actors, both of them. So those two things don't magically solve the fact that a person of color was not cast in these roles, but it at least lends to that. Whereas if Emma Watson and Miles Teller were cast, it would have been like, that's just bullshit, you know? So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, for sure. It's just part of a larger systemic issue.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I think in the end, talking through this, I do wish they would have gone with one of the two leads as a person of color, but they did a good job with the diverse cast.
I agree, and it's such a bummer because I do really love Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone as a couple on screen, and I want to watch a ton more of their movies. But like,
oh my god, I'm sorry, I was just thinking about if Janelle Monáe were Mia. Oh, that would have been amazing.
She is such a gem.
That would have been amazing, and she can already sing and dance. Oh.
See, that's what I don't like about film. That's why I like theater more, because if this were a Broadway show that was running for many years, you could fill in a ton of different actors and actresses into these roles and have a ton of different takes and have everything be the same. But now we have to wait 20 years for a remake of this and everything's going to be different and they're going to reimagine it and it's not going to be the same. Whereas in the theater, you could have so many different actors and actresses live in the same exact world and you can see their take on the same exact material and I just wish we could plop in all these different actors and make this movie 8 more times.
Yeah, maybe we need to create a Hollywood that does that. Let's work on that.
Because I want to see everyone's version of this.
Now I really want to see Janelle Monáe and Ryan Gosling do this.
I would love to see them in this, and then just rotate all of Hollywood in and out of these roles. I love it. Yeah. I want to watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we're not going to solve the issue of race on this episode of Music Pals. It's tough.
Yeah,
they should have cast. I think they should have cast a person of color. It was a misstep, but they cast 2 amazing people in those roles, and they did an incredible job. And then they cast a fairly diverse additional cast. So of course, neither of us are people of color, so we can't speak from much authority. But it is what it is.
Yes.
Hopefully a future version of this considers that and reconsiders that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think I'm glad we talked. I'll re-summarize mine to end on a slightly happier note. I will give the writing a 10 neon signs out of 5. I will give the music, like I already said, 4 piano keys out of 5. And I will give the pageantry 1,000 invisible stars out of 5 invisible stars. Great movie.
Yes.
It was the first, genuinely, the first time I really got really, truly invested in characters and ever, like in any movie. And I really appreciated that. So. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll call it there, and I just want to say a quick thank you to Arcade Audio, who is hopefully you've listened to the last episode, is our new. We have joined the Arcade Audio network. Please do check out some of the other shows on that network. There's some great stuff, like RJ Hates Rap, Our Father, the Dilettante Ball. Humanoid Resources picked up, Podswoggle, a wrestling podcast. Plenty of really great shows on there. You won't see our show on there just yet, but we'll be there very, very soon. So thank you so much to Arcade Audio for having us. And Katie, you want to tell the folks where they can get at us?
Yeah, our favorite bit. You can listen to this podcast wherever you love to listen to podcasts, as long as it's on the podcast app or on SoundCloud.
What? Oh, and, wait. Or TuneIn.
You can also follow us.
We're now on TuneIn as well.
We're on what?
We're on TuneIn, which is another hosting service that I submitted us to when we got on.
Thank you. Isn't that so convenient
so
for you?
Now you can, say
Beautiful.
to your Amazon, to your Alexa, you can say, Alexa, play the Musipals, and it'll play. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, how exciting.
Yep.
I'm very excited. That's so cool. And also you should follow us on Twitter, please. We love talking to you. Please tweet at us. Please use the hashtags. We love it. We get so excited. It's at the Musipals, and we also have an Instagram at the Musipals, and we have a Facebook page. You can search for the Musipals on Facebook. That's where you like your updates. And we love chatting with you, so please.
Yeah, please do.
Come join.
Create a community over there, guys. Start talking about musicals on the Facebook. This is your chance to nerd out, so do it.
I'm so excited. I'm available 24/7 to talk about musicals. Get at me.
Please do. I will try, but I don't know how well I'll do. So thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate it. Please rate and review us.
Thank you.
A few folks have given us a review, and I cannot explain to you how helpful that is. It makes people realize that we are worth listening to. And so if you want to share us, you can. The best way is to tell your friends about us, but random people coming along. We can only continue to do this if we have an audience. We can't talk into a wall. Not that we love the audience that we have, but the bigger the audience grows, the more excited we are to do this show. So please continue to share it and rate and review us. We really, really, really appreciate it. And as always, we appreciate you.
Yes, we love you. Thank you.
Yep. Goodbye.
Yep.
Love you.
Oh, goodbye. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.